Dyspraxia DCD. So DCD is developmental coordination disorder, and dyspraxia is the layperson's term that we use on it. So most people in the public won't have heard of DCD, but they may have heard of dyspraxia. So they're one and the same thing. DCD is just the diagnostic terminology that's used to actually diagnose it, developmental coordination disorder. It is a motor cognitive learning disorder. So what we mean by that is that it is a disorder that impacts children and young people's motor proficiency skills and abilities. And those motor proficiency skills and abilities impact your activities of daily living. So what does that mean? It means that we use motor skills for everything. I use it here today to stand when I was walking, that I wouldn't bump into any of the furniture or any of the equipment. And I can just navigate that really easy. So the activity there that my spatial awareness and my motor skills is needed for is to mobilise safely and easily within my environment.
You're looking at difficulties with daily living skills, like a little child might have difficulties dressing, putting the clothes on backwards, struggling later with tasks like learning to tie laces, learning to swim, learning to cycle a bike. And then of course in primary school you're looking at a lot of difficulties with handwriting, and even the little kids with the colouring, that all being actually quite traumatic for them when they can't colour in the line, and other kids are maybe being mean about that. And then later on in the teenage years you're looking at things again like the handwriting and the need for assistive technology. But then things change a little. And the difficulties we notice are more around the organisation, being able to organise your environment, your study space, your school bag, your locker, difficulties remembering to bring things in for school, difficulties taking notes and listening at the same time. Really, dyspraxia affects people practically in a nutshell. This is something that practically affects people.
Well, for me, the bulk of it was trying to get things written down. Like, I write terribly slowly, and my writing is very messy. But I've got all of the things I want to write down in my head. It's just getting it down on the paper that's really hard for me. Well, in terms of college to from secondary school, very large change. The typing was kind of instrumental in the marks I got for my Leaving Cert, because when I did my junior cert, I didn't have access to a computer to type with. And my grades are astronomically different from what they were then, because I knew I had it, and it to be honest, was a little frustrating that I had all the information that they were looking for, but I just couldn't get it down fast enough in the constraints of the exam. So when I brought out typing, it just removed that block. Simple as. I just was able to tell them everything I wanted to say.
Having dyspraxia really did affect me educationally. Obviously physically I had bad balance, I mightn't have been doing the best in sports, but educationally I find processing all my thoughts really difficult. So going throughout school, just even forming sentences, as in like doing your homework every night, if you're spelling your sentences, whatever, it was just difficult for me. So knowing that I had dyspraxia just kind of gave me a reason going, oh, this is why I find this so hard. And it also gives a reason to the teacher going, this is why she's like this. I'm not just not trying, I can't do it, I just take longer. It's like a big bowl of spaghetti and just trying to pull out the string or whatever to form my sentences.
Clinically, I would say one of the biggest things that I've seen about when children and young people get support in the right time is actually for their mental health, the emotional outcomes, because actually parents and teachers feel less frustrated with the child as to why they can't do and why they're not doing things. So maybe, because kids, if they can't do it, will avoid it, and it looks like behaviour, but actually is it difficult for them, and that's why they're self-protecting. So there's the difference of getting support and not getting support. Typically, really where you really see the impact is emotional and mental health outcomes. That's what I see clinically for kids who didn't get the support and they maybe get a referral in late adolescence, early adulthood. It's typically all about emotional well-being.
Having dyspraxia isn't a bad thing. As in, okay, it can be difficult, there is problems you might face, but again, once you know you have dyspraxia, there is things out there. You will be able to even talk to teachers, whatever, just like it will get better once you know why you're like this. And yeah, just getting that diagnosis, it's just the start, really, basically. You can only go up from there. And don't be nervous about it, like, it's not your fault.
I'd say it's definitely worth it. There's a lot that can change once you've got the diagnosis. I know it can be a bit frightening that, oh, I'm going to be stuck with this label now, but it's not something that'll hold you back. You've got the knowledge in there. It's just finding the right way to let it out.